Alrighty, we continue. This is the Zach Gelb Show right here on the Infinity Sports Network. Let's go out to the guest line right now. Welcome into 2023 U.S. Open champion. He is here today on behalf of Blade and Bow, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, and that is Wyndham Clark with us on the Zach Gelb Show. Wyndham, appreciate the time. Thanks so much for doing this, and how you been?
I've been good. Thanks for having me on.
I appreciate you coming on. Now, this sponsorship is right up my alley, and I know you got some pretty cool sweepstakes going on shortly. Tell me a little bit about the fine work that you're doing with the folks from Blade and Bow, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
Well, we're excited to announce that we're going to have a sweepstakes for one lucky guest that they get to play a round of golf with me, bring some of their friends, and then enjoy some post-round celebrations at the 19th hole and have some good Blade and Bow. So we're pretty excited about this. It's going to launch next week on Monday, and people can look on social media to get more information on it. And so, yeah, we're really excited to launch this, and I'm looking forward to playing with some lucky people.
Yeah, nothing like a good round of golf and then also some good drinks afterwards and a little bit of a party. I know you were saying people could bring some friends along with them. I know when you were growing up, you went to high school with Christian McCaffrey. I know you played before with him in the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. I know you are the reigning champion as we get to see who wins it all if you could defend that crown this year. But what was that relationship like in high school with Christian?
So, to be honest, Christian, we only went 2 years together. He's a little younger than me. I was really close with his brother Max, who's now coaching the NFL. But yeah, Christian and I had a pretty good relationship, and the fun thing is we've kept it going throughout the years, and now we have such mutual respect for each other. Obviously he's one of the best running backs, and then my endeavors in golf, and he's gotten into golf, and so he's always asking me questions and some tips, and but yeah, we've had a great relationship. He was so talented, not only in football, but in other sports. And we had some good banter back and forth when we played some basketball. We were both on the same team. So, yeah, it's a great relationship. I love the McCaffrey family. Been over to their house many times. So yeah, it's really fun to see two kids from Colorado, which usually doesn't produce, I'd say the best athletes in the sports that we're playing. Produces great athletes in other sports, but football and golf, there's not too many of them, and so it's fun that both of us went to the same school and we're both competing at the highest level.
Yeah, it's really awesome to see what both you guys have accomplished. By the way, I checked out the last few weeks, TGL presented by SoFi. I know you're a part of that, obviously. What has that experience been for in kind of this new era, new wave of golf?
Yeah, honestly, it's really fun to be part of. I will say, I've said this to many people, it's some of the most fun I've ever had playing golf. If you can even really call it golf. I mean, it's a fun game. It's indoor, it's golf, but it's not golf. And so, I love it. I think it's a blast for us to play. And I think thus far people are receiving it really well. And I think as we continue to play and get more comfortable out there, the more banter that there is. I mean, we started something completely new, right? And so there's no history, there's no formula of how to do it. And so as we get better at it, I think people are going to continue to love it. So I think it's great for golf. And, the big thing is I think it brings more eyes to the game of golf, which also helps the PGA Tour. It helps TGL. It helps all of our brands. It's a really great thing. And I'm looking for the next time I get to tee it up.
Yeah, I think it showcases your guys' personality a little bit more than a typical PGA kind of tournament. We've seen a little bit with Full Swing too, which you're well versed in, and then in this, it's a little bit more relaxed environment than your
Yeah.
prototypical weekend.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. People always see us on TV, and part of trying to be one of the best golfers in the world is, you have to really keep your emotions at bay when you're playing, and so they only see us inside the ropes when we're really intense, and they don't really get to see the lightheartedness that all of us really have, and our, the fun, the camaraderie that we have amongst players. You get to see our personalities, and I just think it's great because people always look at us like we're robots and think that we don't have anything, but then you get us in a fun social setting, you're like, oh wow, you're actually a really fun guy, or you're funnier than I thought, or whatever it ends up being. And so I think that's great for us and the fans that they get to see us in that light.
Talking to Wyndham Clark on behalf of Blade and Bow, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. What I'm most excited for this year in the golf world is obviously the Ryder Cup. I'm a Long Island kid. My sister was actually married at Bethpage Black, so
Oh,
that's going to be neat, and it's going to be such a fun kind of weekend. I'm assuming, obviously you want to qualify. We're all hoping that you're going to be a part of it, but that's got to be circled on your calendar, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've gotten two good tastes of team golf for Team USA, actually three now. The Olympics, Ryder Cup, and the President's Cup, and I love it. I'm addicted to it. I want to make the team every single year. And this one in particular, I've only played away games. I've never had a home game. And so, to play in the US is going to be amazing. And then now you put it in New York with, an amazing sports town, really tough fans, but great fans. I just think it's going to be an amazing atmosphere. So I'm really hoping of all the teams that I make this one because I think it's going to be great. And I'm really excited for Keegan as our captain. I think he's going to be one of our best captains yet. And so hopefully I play some great golf and I either make the team on my own play or at least I get picked.
You have probably so many pinch me moments already, only being 31, whether it's representing your country, winning the US Open back in 2023. I'm assuming the US Open was the top one for you, even though how cool of an honor it is to represent your country.
Yeah, I think any major's typically number one. Even my first win was up there as well, just kind of breaking through. But yeah, you get to these team events. Making my first Ryder Cup was amazing. Obviously, making the Olympics the biggest sporting event in the world and representing the USA was amazing. Getting my first win as a team for the President's Cup was unreal. So I've definitely checked off some boxes that, as a little kid, I hope I could do these someday. And so now, I hope I just keep going down the list and you know, racking up the accomplishments. It'd be pretty cool.
It's cool to find out about people when they were younger. Now looking back, how accomplished you are, Wyndham Clark, in the golf world. I know your dad was a big influence in sports and getting you to play golf. Just how do you kind of reflect on relationship when you were a youngster, when you look back at what dad did for you, like all these years later?
It's amazing this, especially as you get older. It's amazing to look at the sacrifices that your parents made for you. And my dad played professional tennis, didn't quite, he made it, but didn't quite fully make it in his career. And I think, obviously he took that hard. He wanted to make it, and so then as I progressed in sports, he definitely saw that there was potential and things that he learned that he should have done, and he instilled in me. And so it's amazing to look back at young Wyndham, in the early days, hoping this would happen, and now we fast forward and it really is happening, and it's fun to share it with my dad, with my family. And so I'm just very thankful that my dad sacrificed so much, not only financially, but his own time, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears as well. I was traveling the country playing not only just golf, but basketball and other sports. And so he really paid a lot of, and I really gave a lot of his time for me. And so I'm so thankful for it.
Yeah, we're similar in age. I'm 30, so growing up, golf, it was synonymous with one person, and that was Tiger Woods. I'm just wondering, what was it like your first interaction meeting Tiger?
The honest truth, the first time I met him, we were in the bathroom at the Players Championship, and I was I was at the urinal, and sure enough, Tiger Woods comes right next to me, and I go, "Oh my gosh!" And he goes, "Hey man, how you doing?" And then he asked what time we were playing, and I was so nervous, and so that was the first time I ever got to really meet Tiger. But then I got to play with him a couple times, and the great thing about meeting your heroes and the guys you looked up to is, especially when they exceed your expectations. And meeting Tiger was awesome, but then fast forward, the next time I saw him, he remembered my name, said, "Hey, great playing today. Had a good round that day," or something. And that little things like that really make you feel awesome that you're not just someone that you ran into. And so that was really cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the bathroom encounters are the most awkward. I met
Yeah.
Dan Patrick when I
And,
was in
and
high school, and it's like, I'm not gonna go shake your hand. I know you don't want to talk to me because you're doing your business.
yeah.
That's got to be the most awkward thing, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, it was definitely not how you dreamt of meeting one of your idols. But hey, it's a funny story, and he probably doesn't even remember it, but I do. And so, yeah.
Last thing I'll ask you, once again, Wyndham Clark here with us, Blade and Bow, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. just the state of golf right now. I know it was so contentious a few years ago with Live Golf and the PGA Tour. I know we don't really have any final answer on that, but how do you kind of just describe the current state? Because as a viewer, I just want to see the same golfers under one umbrella going up against one another.
Yeah, honestly, I actually think it's in a great place. I think yes, I would love to see all the best players playing against each other, but if you look at it, we now have so many cool things in golf. I mean, golf is growing as a sport. We have this new league in TGL. We have a new league in the Live Golf Tour, and then you have the original and the PGA Tour. And if we can kind of bring it all together, I mean, I just think golf is going like this. And so I agree with you. I don't know what's going to happen, but the one thing I do like is people are talking about golf, and maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago wasn't as much chatter. And so it's pretty if you try to turn it into a positive thing, there's a lot of chatter around golf, which is always good.
Well, he's Wyndham Clark. Good luck coming up the rest of the week at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Once again, Wyndham Clark here with us on behalf of Blade and Bow Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Wyndham, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks guys. Have a good one.